Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly Ascension Angel Messages for March 31st through April 6th, 2025. So, before we begin, I'd just like to say, wow, what happy spring. Um, can we say happy Mercury retrograde? Probably not. It started, I found out on the 16th. Um, the day I actually found out the day of my birthday because there was all this technology stuff that was just going a little haywire and the miscommunications. And then when I go look at my Moonology calendar, I discover, oops. So I'm sure that you've probably had your experiences as well. Um, well, just 3 weeks, and this might, by the time this video comes out, might be, well, the second week probably of the retrograde. And so we'll persevere, right? But welcome back, everyone who's been following me on this series. And also, welcome to you if you're new to my channel. Say hello, and so that we'll know who you are. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you do. Select the notification bell. Of course, just leave your comments. And if also you would like to get an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. That link you'll find in the description area beneath this video. Just be aware that I'm doing my readings right now on Saturdays, in the afternoon, so starting at 2 o'clock. And I would let you know if I get a sense if I have some availability during the weekday, in the evening, especially now that we're getting more light. During the summer, I'll be able to do, readings during the week. Also, if you would like to support my channel, rather, you can also use my PayPal me link for Angelic Wisdom LLC. And that you can also find in the description area beneath the video. And at the time that you will see this, I haven't done it yet, but when you see this video, I would have probably come out with the monthly angel reading for April. So check out that link, which will be the first one you will see for the monthly reading for April. So let's go ahead now and take a deep breath. And just center yourself and also ground yourself. Deep into the heart of the earth. And the angels are giving me a sense that we may need to just clear some emotional stuff. So let's go ahead and call forth the pure white ascension flame of Atlantis, and just feel or sense it coming down over you and flowing through your energy centers, deep into your cells, totally purifying everything within you and that is surrounding you. And just let it fill the space or your home or the building where you are located. And also, you can call upon Archangel Michael to place his cloak of protection over you. And just make sure during this week that you kind of remember to do these things, or whatever your practice is, that helps you to feel balanced, safe, and at peace, and centered. And remember, you can always call upon Archangel Michael. And I saw like the word help. And then as I was saying, you can call Archangel Michael. I saw call me. So if you're feeling like you need help, then call on Archangel Michael or call on your angels or whoever it is that you connect with, God, Jesus, and ask them to help you, and then trust that that help will be given in the way that you need it. So don't look for it to come the way that you need it out of your fear. Don't let your fear drive the outcomes you're expecting. You might be focused on the problem as if it's in a very symptomatic way, wherein the angels and God will deal with it in a holistic way. The healing, the route for the healing or the protection or the help will come in a holistic form. And that means that your opportunity to grow, and sometimes that opportunity for growth might come in the form of a test to see if you're ready for what you're asking for, or to see if you're open to the help that you need, not the help that you want, but the help that you need. So when we trust, we have to really be willing to explore the ways that the universe, that God or the universe might answer you, that your angels might work with you and through you and for you. Be more, expand what you're looking for, and never look too hard, because it's always the simplest thing, and it's also the thing that's right in front of your face. And it might look like nothing is happening or nothing is changing, and that you're being confronted by the thing that you don't want to face. Well, that's your test. And that's where you need to be in order for the outcome to be resolved, for the holistic healing of the entire situation. So you might be the tool, and your mindset might be the very tool that you need to address as the form of help that you need. Your mind, your perception, your heart. You're calling for help when the solution is you. And this prepares us to be aware that we are not just these empty vessels or these victims, but that you are the source of truth. You are also being used as the light showing the path or the guidance that is needed. And that, man, that really bugs, doesn't it, when we are in the midst of our own crises, the one that we're conjuring, the one that we're seeing a certain way, and it is offering so many limits that we feel stuck, but you're not. It's time for us to realize that, I don't know if this is a word, but I see it, that the salvation that you're looking for, that you've been endowed with that wisdom and that healing grace and power already. But being afraid to use it is the problem. It's what's creating the problem. It's what's creating for you too often a sense of being in crisis. When you're absolutely safe. Everywhere you go and in everything that you do, you're already protected. You just really need to be grounded in this and instead of trying to escape it. And I saw the word positive come up. And sometimes we use this as a way to escape conflict, the test, the lesson, the opportunity to grow, to know ourselves in much deeper ways, to discover what is beyond the landscape of our fears, and really step into the vastness of resourcefulness and resources that we have. I know we don't like to think, that we're alone, because this sounds like you're saying you're on your own, which to the ego and your fear is, I'm alone. And that is traumatic. I mean, loneliness is very traumatic for most people, especially if and ever they have felt the shock of it in the midst of something they consider, frightening. There have been sometimes a dream or an altered state dream where I might wake up and find myself confronting something of a lesser vibration. And I used to feel extremely frightened and alarmed and would call upon help. And I would not see it or sense it present. But it was there. It was not acting outside of me, but as a part of me. And then, more recently, I have had those same experiences and I've been pissed. Like my soul is sort of more in a warrior, angelic warrior mode. And I called, but realized I didn't need it. But it wasn't that I didn't need the outside appearance of it for me, but it is integrated within me. So our angels and the beings of light. Well, let's just for a moment look at it all as just energy. And that energy is not ever separate from us. It is a part of us. And by the way that we see the world, they are activated accordingly. And we have lesser and higher. And sometimes we are confronted with the lesser paths, the lesser vibrations, the lesser energies or entities because of what we are trying to escape or what we're afraid of. But our trust and our faith garners light and integrity and those beings of high integrity. But they write the word equity, and I feel what they're trying to say is that whether they're lesser or higher, the equity comes in terms of our sense of who we are and what we firmly believe we are attuned to. That if I am standing in the midst of a crisis and I feel or believe that I'm powerless, then this is what I am drawing to myself. And it doesn't mean as if you're going to lose, because it's an illusion. But what it does mean is that you are conjuring greater expectations of calamity than, have you ever noticed, than actually could ever have happened to you? Even the worst thing that you can think of happening to you, if you've ever been through it, it's never been as bad as your mind makes it out to be before it happens. And it just shows you the power and the will of the soul. And why in some, religious texts, there's this thing about staying your mind on, as this old song you say, stay your mind on Jesus, or keeping your mind and your heart on God or source, but you're not doing it to try to get out of. See, it can't be what you want it to mean to you if you feel like you're making it the barrier between you and something you need to face. You have to trust that you are always in the presence of God. There is no absence of God. This does not exist. You will forever, you have stood, you are standing, and will forever stand within the presence of the divine. So what you have to start doing to yourself is believing that whatever reality you've conjured for yourself, that you're safe as long as you're willing to face it with truth, with light, and the highest integrity, that you're willing to go through it in order to have the clarity that you need. And when you go through it with and seeking the clarity that you need and allowing yourself to receive it, these crises will not have the same weight or burden on the mind or the soul or heart. Guilt is one such type of crisis, and also a cause for them, like so many other things. And we have to pay attention when you feel yourself. Guilt means that somehow you're accusing yourself. And this is, you know, can over time grow to become an enormous trauma. It's so interesting. I was recognizing recently that you will find that as a sensitive light workers, that people not agreeing with you or sort of attacking you, you will automatically take responsibility. And there's a difference between, well, I don't know that. And this is because, in our spiritual practice, we understand that we have accountability in everything. But you don't make it your burden. It should become wisdom, enlightenment, right? It should create grace within your soul, peace within your heart. So you have to know when to accept that grace when you've received it and not linger so that it becomes guilt or shame or blame or judgment or harsh criticism or fear, whatever. Just as an example. And that means that you have to know what you're doing is led by the heart. And you also have to know that being led by the heart does not mean that everybody's going to accept you or like you. As a matter of fact, they might be very triggered and set off by you. But you have to know how to own, first of all, center in yourself, center in the light, meaning the clarity, the understanding, and not be drawn into what is going on with them. You can't take on I say the word gravity of what they've chosen to believe or perceive. Everything is not your fault. And we're not faultless, but everything is just not your fault. And if I could weigh our understanding of knowing that we're not faultless and making everything our fault or taking it on, I feel like it would be just like 1 to 1,000,000, like the weight of it. Like you guilt yourself 1,000,000 times over and understand that you're faultless like 1% of the time. And that's just unfair. And then when things seem unfair, that is a sign that you don't have this equilibrium of understanding about the spiritual laws that are in relationship with you, and what you seem to understand is your experience, or what you're drawing towards yourself as experience. Just take another deep breath. Breathe out. And just center yourself in your chakra column. So really feeling your Earth Stars chakra beneath you. Grounding into all the potential that your soul has. The treasure trove of potential and possibilities for you in this lifetime or any other. And up through those other chakras and their stages of development and enlightenment, all the way up to your stellar gateway chakra, the seat of your I am presence, your monad. And have the intention of being centered now in your heart, opening up your heart chakra, just letting it blossom fully and completely to enfold you and act as a bridge of compassion between your purpose here on earth and your monadic understanding and wisdom. And then ask the Archangel Sandalphon to bring up the silver ball of your heart chakra, to open it up and expand it all the way up around you. And over your chakras. And then asking Archangel Metatron to expand your stellar gateway chakra and bringing it all the way down and feel yourself now fully in alignment and equilibrium and balance with all the facets of your being. And just trust, feel the trust, feel your intuition. Let's take a look at the archangel that we're working with for this week. And it's Archangel Raziel. And it says, seek and you will find. Be a wise one. When this card comes up, it gives me a sense in this week that we need to be intentional about what it is we're after. What is your spiritual goal? What is the intention of your heart? What is the purpose for your being? You know, I'm thinking about the Earth Star Chakra. What is the purpose of your being here in this physical world? What is your heart's intention? And what is your monadic spiritual lesson? And how they come together. And they are always coming together and weaving through you. And what you have to embrace and truly understand is that where you are, you were guided there. Your heart led you, your monadic purpose set up the opportunities for you to grow. And whatever you're going to give to life on earth is all in this angelic moment of amazing change and transformation. Every reaction, is stirring actions, propelling all involved forward. And this is the time to make requests, or to know that your requests are being answered. Be aware of both, because both is true in every given moment of your life. And be wise, meaning be guided. Listen to your heart. It's where everything comes together through the heart. And allow yourself, trust that you're going to be guided. Trust this guidance to lead you through. And even if you don't see the lessons or understand them at the moment, or your purpose, by going through it, you will know. Sometimes you just can't look and wait and figure it out before you act. You got to be in it to really understand it. Just know that there's no time wasted ever. So, still right to left. So, this in personal perspective, we're needing to really focus upon. And is this the card? Oh, we had this card last week, so we're getting the Lover's card again. Slow focus. And I feel like it was in the same place last time as well. But so this focus, I see this huge rock, and the two lovers are sort of sitting in front of it. But the focus you can really see is on that rock. And it's sitting on top of another one that's, sort of elevating it. And that word elevated really resonates. There's a sense of a path, something launching for you. And that your soul is intimately involved and is passionate about what could take off for you. I just saw the word starlight. I don't know why. But yes, maybe this is an opportunity to allow yourself to reach for the stars, to have your dreams, right? Our dreams sometimes feel so far-reaching, but when you let your heart really get involved and lead you, instead of letting your mind, have debate over whether or not this is possible or this is the right time or what, don't be divided. Don't let your mind divide your heart. Let your heart lead you, and your mind will understand. It will flow within that. I just saw the word perplexity. Perhaps there are a lot of perplexities that come up for us, However, just know that when you have the full fuel of your heart enlivened behind your dream, that all of these complex strands, these things that the mind can't figure out, it wants to race ahead and make sort of predicted outcomes. But the heart is such a higher state of intuition, of understanding. It is listening to you and responding to you in the moment. It is a fire where things are malleable and it can clear that path that in a way that doesn't make sense to the logic of the mind. It can really cause things to grow, and it can clear, it can destroy, and it can construct, right? It can clear, construct, it can destroy. And it's just a powerful element that you need to really be with in the moment. You can't stand outside of it and think about it. Let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. And this is the Four of Swords. And this card gives us a sense of taking some time to just to chill with the mind, right? Give our minds a little bit of rest. We know how many times have you worried yourself to death, meaning worried yourself to exhaustion. And sometimes we can even make ourselves sick because we're just so afraid of things that could go wrong that we're completely immobilized. So be aware that your mind, if you don't rest your mind, relax your mind, if you don't have faith and really trust your heart, your mind is working against your heart. It's the only thing that can kill your passion. As a matter of fact, it's the only thing that's standing in the way. It's the only reason for the delays, because they are not in alignment. You have to let your mind, use your mind as a source of inspiration. The inspiration will come from the wisdom of your soul, your heart, and what it reveals. Let the mind be like a response to the heart. And that way I see inspiration. It's a response to the heart, the mind's response to the heart. And this is the best working relationship of the mind and the heart. Any other is just going to create chaos. And here we have the Queen of Swords. And she's seated there, looking directly at us and giving us this really strong vibe, right? She's got her hand on the head of the wolves there. And so there's a sense that she's taming their minds, and those other primal instincts. She's got that under control. She's got everything under control. And though there's a lot of barrenness around her, but right now is a time to sharpen your mind, to be open to those instinctual ideas. And every queen has that water, emotional, heart based, and their element. And so here we have that in this feminine role model, the eloquence of these two cards, that idea of, letting your heart really guide you, and then being inspired, let your mind be inspired by what your heart is showing you, is taking you through, wherever it's leading you. Now, the queen here, she can sometimes typically be someone who, you know, doesn't open her heart a lot. So this is a flip side of something maybe we need to not try to protect ourselves, to do less protecting the heart and more trusting. Trust the truth when it shows itself to you. Don't reject the truth. Trust it. Be in tune with your with your instincts, your intuition. And I think that's where her confidence comes from. And it doesn't mean that, you know, we have to be careful, this fine line of having confidence like this queen, where we've shut people down, we've shut our hearts down a little bit, and we're more focused on, facts, and not and disregarding when our intuition gives us a sense that the facts may appear to tell this truth, but there is a deeper truth there. So, I always have to tell a little story from my life, I guess, but just recently this week, a choir director that I'm partnering with at my school, she said to me, how's your sight singing? And I'm like, and I was like, well, it's a little rusty probably. I mean, I haven't really had to use it, so that's fair, because we're singing in choirs and things like that. But but I know I can sight read. It's rusty. And but then she said to me, "Oh, I'm always looking for countertenors." In my choir, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But I'd always rejected that idea. I've always thought like, "Oh, that's just something I do to help the kids." Because if I sing in my male voice, it throws their voice off, and since their voices are treble and they can't sing low. And over the years it's developed, and then I had to think about it. When I got home, I kind of felt like, I think I just shut that door, not completely, but that I should try to open it. And so I texted her and said, that kind of took me aback. I was like, kind of like, wow, when I got home, because it kind of popped up and I wasn't expecting it. The point is that, I told her I'll work on something and maybe we could do something together and just see what it feels like. And, it's actually something that's developed and grown. So trust your heart, right? Trust your passions, and I think part of me, to be honest, is like sitting here going, well, there's my voice and there's this voice, and I've always separated them. Like one is false and the other one isn't. And they're both, to other people seem real. And I think a part of me feels, there's a culture thing about it, right? To sing in my countertenor voice is not, it's, I'm ashamed to say it, but it's like, okay, yeah, this is a female voice and it's a male voice. And I mean, we can all get stuck into things, and also being comfortable. We look for comfort, our comfort zones. We don't want to stick out anymore, right? And is it sometimes that our passions, our very passions, and our truth is something that makes us, that seems like it's just going to take away all of our comfort zone. We need this one place when we're out there being different and being ourselves in so many other ways. And we need one place to be a constant. But, in the river of life, there is no one constant, right? All of us, all the parts of us are always flowing, or at least eventually they will. And so we have to, as we look at what is driving us now, what is driving us in our soul and our hearts, be aware that you might want to restrict, you might want that safe place. And if you try to hold on to a safe place when life is ready for you to transition into something different, then that will become like, it's like almost having like something in your paw, and it'll become a source of pain, discomfort, and everything else. So be ready to move forward when life calls you to do so. in that area where you would like to have that remain your little place for the rest of your life, comfort zone. All right, let's take a look at the card I've pulled already from the bottom of the deck. And this is the Sota is pages, page of Pentacles. And boy, for me, when I see this, because this reminds me of my relationship with my grandmother growing up, and she's the one who actually taught me um, to sing, like when I was a toddler, and had prepared me to do it, and then I got so, like freaked out about it, and I didn't do it. Um, and so, you know, this is an interesting thing for Page, but of Pentacles. But you look at it, and maybe it's something that either someone's guiding you, or someone guided you a long time ago, or you're guiding someone right now. Maybe there's someone you might be guiding or be able to guide them. Um, and so this is often a card about studying something different. And so be open to the opportunity that might be seem like it's new and out of your comfort zone or out of your reach, of skills or ability. But be open to this. Be open to learning about it, studying it, doing a little bit of training, whether it's professional training or you're going to do some work with yourself. Like right now I'm just working with myself on this, right? Taking my knowledge and adapting it to this. And so it might be something like where you may need to adapt your knowledge. But I think it's really special. Let me just open a little bit window because it's getting a little darker. And what I find really interesting about this card is how this grandmother is showing this little one. And you know how people can, you can say, well, one person might say, well, maybe she's pushing something on somebody. But showing somebody something is not the same as pushing it on them, right? So in the way the universe might be showing you something, but they're not pushing it on you. It's up to you. But don't be afraid to be shown something. Be wise in that regard, that learning is how we discover other solutions, other options. So be open to what the universe is helping you to learn. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful and really powerful week of new opportunities that are being given to us in this spring, newly spring energy. God bless you.